Hello, I'm Kurth Barker, and this is part two of a three-part series of videos on spiritual protection for Christians. I'm the author of several books on satanic ritual abuse, and I'm the author of a book titled Psychic Development for Prosperity, Self-Defense, and Political Influence. To find out about these books or about my free videos, check out the website angelicdefenders.theshamecampaign.com. In the first video in this series, I talked about how the government remote viewing program proved the validity of psychic powers. However, although the government officially ended its research, this scientific information about psychic abilities has continued to be used by occultists. The Temple of Seth is a satanic church founded by the U.S. military officer Michael Aquino, and it is only one group which is very aware of the psychic research done by the military. Many Satanists practicing occultism are very aware of this psychic research that was done by the U.S. military during the Cold War. The word occult refers to hidden knowledge. Occult practices go back to ancient times, and the conflict between occultism and Christianity is very old. But this modern research on remote viewing made satanic occultism more effective and powerful than it was in the past. As well as this, there was the MKUltra mind control experiments being done during the Cold War at the same time that psychic research was being done. This information on mind control complements the psychic research and makes satanic occultism into a very powerful form of mind control and social manipulation. The Illuminati is a satanic secret society dedicated to taking over the world. Skull and Bones is a branch of the Illuminati. It has prominent members from the Bush family and others like Senator Kerry. So you should know that Skull and Bones virtually owns and runs the CIA. And all of the information developed in the MKUltra and the government's Stargate psychic research program are known to the Satanists. They use sex rituals, animal sacrifice, and human sacrifice in occult rituals in which they manipulate and deceive the general public, using their psychic powers in a very structured way. Although they have become very powerful, it's still possible to take back our world from these satanic occultists. Some studies indicate that there are more than 2 billion Christians in the world, but unfortunately most Christians are completely naive about the nature of occult Satanism in America and around the world. At this time, the Illuminati virtually dominates the governments of the United States, Israel, and Europe, and it has relationships with Luciferian secret societies around the world. Satanists are a relatively small percentage of the world's population, but they are obsessed with secrecy, and Satanism is much larger and well organized than what most Christians realize. Satanic secret societies are well funded, and many of their members come from the so-called royal families of Europe, as well as many corporate and political leaders. Although apparently not all Freemasons are aware of this fact, at this point in time, every Freemasonic lodge is a Luciferian temple. Zionist leaders are not really practicing traditional Judaism. They too are occultists. So understand that Satanism is not a small group of eccentrics in California, but a well-organized worldwide movement with ancient roots. But what really makes the Satanists most dangerous is their occult power. Without their occult power, their organizational structure and their invisibility would all fall apart and disappear. Furthermore, those Christians who have awakened to the fact that Satanism is a powerful threat to the world often don't know what to do about these satanic occultists. Some Christians angrily denounce Satanism, and there is a public awakening that is taking place. But what really needs to take place is that Christians need to become more aware of how we can use our God-given spiritual gifts to stop occult Satanism. When you have one group of people who are using their psychic powers to oppose another group which is kept in the dark about psychic powers, well, that's a huge disadvantage for the group that is ignorant on how psychic powers work. If more Christians were to become aware of how they can use their God-given psychic abilities to challenge the satanic occultists, it would be the end of the satanic New World Order. So that's what this video series can help to teach you. You can easily and quickly learn how to use your psychic abilities in an ethical way to better your life as a Christian and to challenge the evil of occultism. First off, you may have been told by some Christian minister that psychic abilities are evil. So we have to address that issue. As a Christian, is it ethical to use your psychic powers? I would say yes. The word psychic comes from the same Greek root word as psyche, and the word psyche refers to the mind and spirit. From Corinthians 1, there is a quote which speaks to the gifts of the Spirit. Quote, "There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and in everyone, it is the same God at work. Now, to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. To one, there is given through the Spirit a message of wisdom. To another, a message of knowledge by means of the same Spirit. To another, faith by the same Spirit. To another, gifts of healing by that one Spirit. To another, miraculous powers. To another, prophecy. To another, distinguishing between spirits. To another, speaking in different kinds of tongues. And to still another, the interpretation of tongues. All these are the work of one and the same Spirit, and He distributes them to each one just as He determines." Unquote. So know this, when I am talking about psychic abilities for Christians, I am talking about gifts of the Spirit. God would not have given you these gifts so that you could withhold them. In Luke 11:33, Christ says, "No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it away in a cellar, nor under a basket, but on the lampstand, so that those who enter may see the light. The eye is the lamp of your body. When your eye is clear, your whole body also is full of light. But when it is bad, your body also is full of darkness." Unquote. This quote makes 2 points. First off, you are not supposed to hide away your gifts of the Spirit and fail to use them. Secondly, notice that Christ uses the word "I" in its singular form. Here I believe he is talking metaphorically of the mind's eye. If your mind is clear, your whole body is full of light. But if your mind is bad, your whole body is full of darkness. The satanic occultists are using their psychic powers for evil purposes because their minds are twisted. But if you dedicate your mental powers to the service of God, you can use your gifts of the Spirit for good. So know that it is ethical for you to use your psychic powers so long as you consecrate them to the service of God and use them in ethical ways. Whenever you pray, you are using a gift of the Spirit, and so this is a good starting point. So I am going to say a prayer as a way of encouraging you to pray. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. In my mind's eye, I see Christ among the clouds of glory. I see that Christ is with an army of angels loyal to him. May Christ's love touch the hearts and minds of all who have watched this video. May the angels with Christ attack the demonic forces that serve the satanic occultists on our planet. May those who practice satanic occultism be moved to turn away from it. May the demons who possess the minds and souls of these satanic occultists be struck down. All demons die this day, verily. Thank you for looking at this video. In the third video of this series, I'm going to explain some things about how the human mind works and how a knowledge of the brain and the mind can be used to enhance your gifts of the Spirit. I encourage you to look at the website that explains about my books and my free videos. That website is angelicdefenders.theshamecampaign.com. Again, that's angelicdefenders.theshamecampaign.com. Thank you all for looking at my video, and may God bless you all.